The Apple M series is easily the most anticipated silicon lineup in the industry, and recently they announced their new chip, the M5. The M5 is said to be a more radical architectural upgrade from the M4 than the entire evolution from M1 to M4 combined. In this video, we're going to look at how it is manufactured, the specific architectural changes, and its raw performance to see if it actually holds up to the promise. But since Apple never publishes the real engineering details, they don't tell you the transistor density or explain the thermal constraints. We'll dig into the expert analysis to reverse engineer the Apple M5. Let's start by looking at how the chip was manufactured. The M5 is built on TSMC's N3P process, which is an optimized 3nm manufacturing node. Now you might be wondering, why stick with 3nm? The industry has been anticipating the transition to the 2nm process node for years. That's because the move to 2nm involves a shift to gate-all-around transistor technology. By wrapping the gate around the channel on all four sides, this architecture drastically reduces current leakage, making it the holy grail for power efficiency. However, 2nm represents the bleeding edge of lithography. For a launch of this magnitude, yield rates, the percentage of functional chips per wafer, are the deciding factor. The N2 node wasn't ready for high-volume manufacturing in late 2025. Instead, Apple selected N3P, which is the mature, high-performance optimization of the 3nm FinFET architecture used in the N4. But still, this is a significant upgrade. N3P delivers a modest 4% logic density improvement and roughly 10% better power efficiency at ISO speed compared to the previous generation. That 4% optical shrink allows for a higher transistor density without increasing the physical footprint of the silicon. This enabled Apple to increase the total transistor count to approximately 28 to 30 billion while maintaining an estimated die size of 165 to 180 square millimeters. But this density came with a specific architectural trade-off. To implement the new AI capabilities, Apple reallocated approximately 15 to 20% of the GPU's total die area. This specific portion of the die would traditionally be allocated to rasterization hardware or texture mapping units. Instead, Apple dedicated this physical silicon exclusively to AI logic. A big change Apple made in the M5 chip is in the architecture. While the previous M4 utilized an 8-core configuration, the new M5 consists of a 10-core design with an asymmetric distribution of 4 performance cores and 6 efficiency cores. With the M5 launch, Apple introduced their new Avalanche Gen 3 performance cores. The core clock peaks at 4.42 GHz, a negligible increase over the M4's 4.41 GHz. This indicates that the architecture has hit frequency saturation within the 3nm thermal envelope. Pushing the frequency higher would result in exponential power draw. Since they couldn't make the clock tick faster, Apple had to make the processor do more work per tick. This is known as instructions per clock. By widening the instruction decode logic, the CPU can ingest and organize more lines of code simultaneously in a single cycle. Additionally, they overhauled the branch predictor, which is the mechanism that guesses which instructions will be needed next, so the processor rarely has to sit idle waiting for data. The M5 expands the L2 cache to 6 MB per cluster, a 50% increase over the M4. And this is critical because fetching data from the main system memory takes a long time relative to the CPU speed. By keeping larger datasets resident in this local cache, they drastically reduced the load-to-use latency, ensuring that the execution pipeline never stalls while waiting for information to arrive from the RAM. Apple also made substantial improvements to the efficiency cores. Beyond increasing the count from 4 to 6, these cores now clock up to 3 GHz. This places the low-power clusters at performance parity with the original M1's performance cores, allowing the OS to offload heavier background tasks while reserving the P cores for active threads. The most radical architectural divergence, however, is found within the GPU. For the past 4 generations, Apple relied on a discrete neural engine. This introduced data movement latency between the GPU memory and the dedicated inference circuits. With the M5, Apple introduced distributed neural accelerators. They physically embedded dedicated tensor processing units directly inside the datapath of all 10 GPU cores. This is the industry's first consumer implementation of heterogeneous compute within the shader core itself. It allows the GPU to execute standard floating point graphics instructions and matrix multiply AI instructions simultaneously, without the data ever leaving the local register file. To support this increased throughput, the memory subsystem required a corresponding bandwidth increase. While maintaining the standard 128 bus width to conserve die area, Apple validated the LPDDR5X memory to run at 9,600 megatransfers per second. This yields a total system bandwidth of 153 gigabytes per second, a 28% increase strictly necessary to feed the new neural accelerators. In terms of verifiable performance, the new M5 is approximately 3.5 to 4 times faster than the previous M4 generation in time to first token, which is the delay between asking an AI a question and receiving the first word of the answer. This drastic increase in speed enables the M5 to run massive 30 billion parameter models entirely locally, which is achievable largely due to a hardware compression technique called microscaling that allows these large, complex artificial intelligence models to fit within the limited memory space of a laptop without requiring a connection to a data center. In terms of graphics, the third-generation ray tracing units have improved the geometry testing by 45%, enabling heavy titles like Cyberpunk 2077 to finally sustain a playable 36 frames per second at 1440p resolution on a base model machine. However, packing this much density into the silicon creates a significant physical penalty that we cannot ignore. During heavy workloads, the M5 draws an average of 28 watts, which is a 40% increase over the M4 17 watts. And since the 14-inch chassis retains a single fan cooling solution, the system hits thermal saturation after approximately 60 to 90 seconds. Once the heat exceeds the fan's ability to dissipate it, the chip is forced to throttle its speed.